Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. Out here in the shop today. I'm just gonna mess around with something and see if we can maybe lean towards an idea of so this is a little, I'm kind of squirreling. My back is hurting today, and I really not at the moment want to do the whole up and down thing from working on the ground over there. So I thought maybe I'd just do some stand-up work here. So we need to make a piece of metal to cover these shock mounts here. I had to cut the fender out to clear the shock mounts, because remember these fenders are off of the wagon, which had a totally different frame, independent front suspension setup. So So I know that I can build just a box and we can cover those up and it'd be fine, but I thought maybe we could run something through the plenishing hammer and see if maybe we can build like a dome type setup. I don't know if it's gonna work, but you know, let's just see what we can do. I'm just gonna mess around at the moment. I took a piece of scrap metal that was what we just cut off of the rear cab corner yesterday that I wasn't happy with. We had ran that piece through the English wheel and it kind of bubbled it out, and I wasn't happy with it, and we ended up replacing it yesterday. So this is the piece that I cut off. Just gonna run it through here, see if we can dome it out, see if maybe we can make something that looks a little more like it belongs there than just a box. You know, worst case scenario, we'll just build the box, but I figured play around and see what we can do. So I like where it's going. I would like to get this to curve over more like a ball. So I think we need like a I think I'm gonna squirrel here again. For some odd reason, my ears are really sensitive today. But like I said, I think we need a tucking hammer, and I don't own one. It would be nice to have a sandbag and a tucking hammer. Now we can make a makeshift sandbag. Welding glove filled with sand works perfect. So we can make one, but then we need a tucking hammer. So let's do a little squirrel mission here. So I have this stick here. This stick fell out of my tree right outside the shop here, and it landed on my station wagon. and it landed like straight down from up high, and it really caved in my fender. So I cut it was a huge stick. I cut it up and I burned it, but I kept this piece with the thoughts of making a tucking hammer out of it and then fixing my fender that it damaged with the stick that broke it. So let's see if we can make a tucking hammer. You know, I can make cars, why not make a tucking hammer? So I don't have a whole lot of woodworking tools, but we do have some stuff. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, so we know we need a head. Let's see, this wood down here is not very good. You know, it looks like possibly a woodpecker was added or something. So let's cut it back some and see if we have any good wood coming in here. So this is the thicker part, so I would like to use this for the head. So how long do we want our head? I'd say we want it a little bit bigger than that. We can shape it and cone it, right? Alright, so we got a hole drilled in there. Now I didn't go all the way through with it because we're going to use another end of this and we're going to cut it all down and we're going to make it fit inside there. I'll try and make it fit as tight in there as we can, and we can glue it, and then we can put a screw in through the top and screw it in, and then hopefully, you know, we'll have a decent hammer. Now I am no hammer maker, I am no lumberjack, I am no woodworker. I work with metal, but I think we can do something. I don't see why not. So I want a round head on one side, and I would like a pointier round end on the other side. Now I know that I can use some grinders, and we can grind some stuff up. Let's see what this guy will do. Okay, I think we got a little bam bam stick. I think or a bam bam head.
Bam 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 bam.
Now we gotta make a bam bam stick. you know, from here we can hit it with the grinder. We can sand it up, smooth it out, whatnot. But I think we got a decent little head here. Now, you know, looking at this wood, like there's a bunch of knots and cracks in it. I don't know how long this thing will last. Could last forever. Could split open the first couple of hits we do. Well, we'll find out. Being an old dead stick that fell off of the tree, it may not be the best stick. It may be petrified. I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not a woodworker. Supposed to have a brake on it, but the brake's broken. And the shield's missing. I bought it from a flea market for like 30 bucks. Can't beat it. Like 15 years ago. Alright, so now we gotta cut this guy down into a steak. A steak.
On the steak.
Let's get rid of, there's a knot here. I'm gonna get rid of that knot real quick, holding us up. I got blasted in the eye with sawdust and I closed my eyes. I looked back down and part of the stick's missing. It's down between my legs. Alright, we got the start of our handle. Alright, so I think we got that part good. Put a little wood glue on here. We'll hammer her in, put a screw in it, and then we'll clean up this handle. Come on now. For somebody who's not a woodworker, I got wood glue. Ah. I think we hit bottom.
That's what she said.
Now, I wish it was a little heavier. It's not very heavy, but if you've ever bought some of those cheap ones, they're not very heavy. on there. Should have probably... Should have probably drilled the hole before I hammered the stick in. We hit wood glue. It didn't break. Not yet, at least. Let me beat on some stuff and find out. Okay, I'll have to order a sandbag, but little welding glove filled with just sandblasting sand and a zip tie, and voila, we have a little makeshift sandbag. So far, so good. Like I said, I wish there was a little more weight to it. Not too shabby. I mean, it's knocking this thing round. I want to kind of round it up this way. I think I really need to whale on it for that. I don't want to break the hammer right off the bat. Knocking some of the bark off. Seems to work. Could maybe make that a little pointier. I think I'd do a little bit more damage. All right, let's just grab grab a piece of metal and see if you beat it with that hammer and if it does anything. I do use some pretty thick metal. I think this is 18 gauge. So it definitely hammers. It definitely bends the metal. Like I said, I think I'd like to maybe point this up a little bit, maybe make it a little bit more pointy. I may do some fine tuning on it, but my very first tucking hammer, and I made it myself. So as long as I don't break it, I'll keep it forever. who knows, someday it just may hang up on the wall there. But for not having one, needing one, making my own, there you guys go. Hopefully you guys learned something. I learned I can make a hammer out of a fallen down stick. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Ah! See you guys later. Alright, we're still sidetracking out here. After making our hammer, I sanded it up with some 80 grit. Got it nice and well, a little more rounded, a little nicer. Handle feels good in my hand. It is still a little squared-ish, but I noticed when I'm hammering, it being a little squared off, it helps not to want to spin in my hand when I'm hammering. So it works. I did grab another piece of metal and beat on that, and it's, you know, it bends the metal. Like I said, I wish it had a little more weight in it. But then I started cleaning up, and then, you know, just sidetracked again. I think it's a sidetrack kind of day for me. So I kind of beat on this a little bit more, cut a little bit off of it, started making the top. I think I'm gonna tack it in place. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. I don't know. Like I said, I was in the middle of cleaning up and I picked up this piece of metal again, and yeah, I was like, man, that's kind of close. Let's make a top for it, and we're still gonna have to make a side. I'm just gonna trim a little off at a time. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Here, if you guys want to take a look at what I'm doing. So, you know, this was just kind of an idea, you know, and I started over in the plenishing hammer, and I wasn't getting the roundness that I want out of it. We kind of squirreled and sidetracked and made that hammer. Which I don't know if that hammer necessarily helped the situation here. I guess I was trying to make it out of one piece, and I just, you know, decided partway through that, hey, you know what, this is just going to be a multiple piece thing. But So we have that, you know, which I can't leave it like that. That just looks horrible. So now we have that, which I'm happy with. I think that looks pretty good. We just got to fill in the side piece over here, and I think that'll work. We got to take off this piece of metal. It was one of these. I cut it off. I think we're gonna get rid of all of them, because they're not in good shape anymore. So, but I think you know, I think that'll look good. It's better than that. It's a nice little custom filler piece. Like I said, we'll close up this side over here. We'll weld it all up, grind it up, and then once, I'm just trying to get you guys back on your stick. Once we get this side panel made and we get it welded up and ground down and looking good, I'll end up welding it on the inside and on the outside. We'll get it ground up, and then once it gets welded to the vehicle, we'll weld it all the way around the inside of the fender. And then when you look from the inside of the wheel, by the wheel, you'll be able to see where I welded it, and then we can go back in and we can trim it up right along the edge of the weld, grind it all up, you know, little filler to smooth it out. As of right now, the inside of the wheel wells are getting the spray in color match bed liner, so we don't have to worry about doing anything with the inside. It would just be the outside that needs to be like really smoothed out and looking nice. So yeah, but you know, that's where I was leaning with this, you know, was building something like this. It's been in my head the whole time. I was looking at the fenders that came off of here and possibly cutting the humps that they had to go around it off of the old fenders and try and graft them in on this fender. And even then, I think it would have been multiple pieces. I thought about maybe using a steel toe boot piece, and I think that's basically what I made here. It's just not a big thick hunking piece of steel. It's actually just made out of sheet metal. And it's very close to, you know, what a steel toe tip would be. You know, I have some old Chevy fenders outside, or wheel wells outside. You know, I was looking at those, if there was anything I could cut off of it to try and make. And you know, like I said, my back was kind of hurting today, and I didn't want to do the whole up and down thing of working over there on that rocker. So I thought, you know, standing and doing this would maybe help my back out a little bit. And I think, you know, I think we came up with something that'll work. You know, by the time we get it all welded up and grind it up and weld it in there, like, it'll look like it belonged there. So, and it's a, you know, custom little cover. And the other side, you know, if you guys looked at the other side is totally different. So we're gonna have to make our own. Like, this would not work over here. You know what I mean? So we'll make something like, you know, like this, but it'll be for that side. You know, we'll do it in the same fashion so that it matches, but it won't. Like, it'll match, but it won't. So yeah, so I think that's where we're at. I'm happy with it. Like I said, we need to make a little side piece right here. Yeah, see, look here. Here's a piece of scrap. We'll have to see if we can make it work. This will definitely work. It's such a small piece that we need. That'll definitely work. Yeah, might be easier to just fill this piece in once this is actually welded onto the fender and not moving around on us anymore. So, but anyways, that was my idea, kind of coming to life there. Like I said, I kind of squirreled off today. It's Sunday. It's kind of a day of relaxation. I'm not out here trying to, bust my ass or kill myself trying to get stuff done. I was just kind of farting around. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll still be back, back at it out here today. I don't know exactly what I'll get done. If I'm doing anything super interesting, I'll flip you guys on and show you what's going on. But right now, I think I'm gonna shut you guys off. Maybe go get some coffee. Oh, excuse me. Maybe go get some coffee. See what the wife's up to. See you guys later. I'm out. All right. So I did something kind of exciting. It's getting really windy outside. So I got it all welded in. I would have videoed it, but there's really, unless I'm wearing the camera on my forehead, there was really no good place to put the camera while I was welding it in. So I got it welded in. I made the little corner piece for it. I think it came out really good. So we made this little corner piece in here. So I think it came out nice. Now we just gotta make one for the other side, which I told you is gonna be the same but different. It's different, but it's the same.
They say she's the same, but she isn't the same.
They say she's the same, but she's not the same. So we'll work on that one. I don't know, probably on another day. Like I said, this was kind of a squirrel mission. But I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it looks good. I think the owner will be happy with it. When we're finishing up this fender, we'll weld it up. We'll trim out the inside. We'll grind it and clean it, get it all, where it needs to be from the inside. Because I guess I'll show you from the inside. You still see the hole I cut out of it. So you can still see the hole that I cut out, but you can see like where my welds are. So I know that this needs to be trimmed up to about where that weld is. So once we weld that thing all the way in, it'll give us a nice line to follow all the way around that we can then trim that back, and then I'll weld it in there as well. So it'll be welded both sides. And then, you know, a little bit of filler in there, and we'll be good to go. So yeah, so that's it. I don't know how exciting this video was, but I think we did some cool stuff in it. You know, we used a plenishing hammer. We got some shape and some metal. We made a tucking hammer. I guess you can say it's a tucking hammer. I made a wooden mallet at the very least. Yeah, I don't know. And then we made this piece in here. You know, I was kind of hoping, like, with using the plenishing hammer and making the tucking hammer, or attempted to make a tucking hammer, I was hoping that maybe we could get that in one piece, but there was just no way. For one, it's so small and confined. I started to tuck it and make it with our wooden hammer in there, and we were in such a confined little area. Like, I was taking chips out of the wood every time I hammered because I was catching the edges of the metal. So it's just too small and too confined. Like, I think the hammer would work great on a bigger piece. Like, you know, if you were trying to make a patch for the top of a 50s style fender or late 40s style fender, like, that'll get you started. So, you know, we have it now. Like I said, worst case scenario, I'll hang it on the wall. It was a interesting little thing to make and kind of cool. And, you know, maybe somebody seeing what I did and how I did it gives them an idea to, you know, build something that works and that's, you know, pretty cool. You know, out of just some lumber out of their yard. So if you do or you have, you know, drop it in the comments below. So this stuff always interests me, always gives me ideas. So anyways, I think that's it for this video. I think it's about lunchtime. I'm gonna go in and eat some lunch. It's after 4, quarter after 4. I guess it's dinner time. So see you guys later. I'm out. Remember, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Thank you.
Oop.